Hi everyone, this is Stephanie at Hightower Stitching, bringing you today's video, which is 212. And what I wanted to do was take some time to talk about taking time to practice free motion quilting. And I just want to show you some things that I do to help me get ready to work on a quilt. Because it's one thing to pick up something like this and just have fun and go through there and do it. It's another one when you take and you have a 72 by 72 quilt and you're looking at all this. It's money in a quilt because they say that it's one of those expensive hobbies now, and you can tell that a little bit. But if you're doing it for yourself or you're doing it for someone else, you want the quilting to be right. And I always like to start hopefully with my ideas, and then I can adjust them. But sometimes once you start, you have to keep going with what you've got. So right now, what I do, and what's so nice is because I was telling you, I was in between the quilts. I'm waiting for the third quilt to come to be done, to do, and I'm not doing them all the same. So I'm always thinking of something I can do. But it's a great time to go to the computer and look up free motion quilting patterns, and then pick out things that you like. And so for storage of ideas, I have books. And you can see I've shown you these way back when. Well, I've got several of them now. And also I have sample notebooks. But these I really love because I can carry them with me. I can sit and doodle. If I see an idea, I can put it in there and then keep going. So those are really neat. Well, when I get ready to practice what I've got in my book, I said, I started out and I would put them on fat quarters, and it was really nice. Well, all of a sudden I'm looking, I'm going, wow, look at this. Aren't those nice? Put them in this box. So I said, well, what could I do differently? And another way to do it, because I didn't throw those away. Those were things I had done, and they were patterns that I could refer to see what I liked and what I didn't like. That was the other big part of it. So here is my sampler that I started. And it's 3 panels, and that was panel at a time. And once I got the panel filled with things that I liked, then I sewed it to the next panel. And one of the other things I did was so that I could go back, and if I was working on a quilt, go back to one of the things that I liked. I just went ahead and free motion quilted in the numbers 1, 2, 3, and went all the way up. And then I'd start the next panel. And I loved it because I had different sizes. I have different colors of thread. The thread's not the big thing. It's having the big pieces and then the little small ones that you can use to look back at. Because like this one is really fun. And it gives me a great thing to look at. So I got that one done and filled. Well, so I said, well, I'm going to start another one. And so here's the next panel. And this is the one that I was working on yesterday. That's what made me think about this for today, because I had some really fun things that I had saved in my books and I had not used before, because, I'm trying to develop my muscle memory so that the things are more round if they're supposed to be round. They're more round if they're going around. And I also helps me to get a pattern in my mind, because I saw this one yesterday and it was go up, big circles, medium circle, go down, around. This one I had fun with because it was go around and down and right back around, up and around till you get to the next one. And they're all sometimes look a little different, but remember, it's practicing. It's like when you ever practiced, if you ever studied cursive, you knew that it took practice. And so this one is the start of pattern 39 at the top. And I just pick where I want to do it and the color that I feel like doing that day. Well, that worked really good yesterday, and I had some templates that I had gotten, and I said, Well, I'm going to put a template in here to see how I can get it to do and use it, and then turn it over and did the other one. So now I have it's one thing to look at a drawing, and it's another thing to see it when it's executed on a piece of fabric. So that's going to be the fourth panel if I decide to hook it on there. But I was going to tell you that when I got my templates, some templates are kind of easy to use, and then sometimes are a little challenging. At least for me they are. And you can see this one, I just took a strip of fabric, and I used scrap fabric that I know I'm not going to use probably, and batting. That's another nice way to use batting, because my sandwiches have just like a quilt, so that I can tell how it's going to look. And you'll see on this one, since this was from a set of templates, I wanted to make sure I knew which one was which, because when you open up the little box, there's a lot in there. And then I also put down on there some of the measurements so that I can tell where a repeat comes. I would have a 7-inch repeat that would start the next one. And then there's ones that are so funny to you, and you say, well, that is funny, and it be interesting to do that. But I also use those templates to trace, and then go and stitch on my computer. And the other day, I had fun with this one on the end, which was the diamonds right here, and they overlap. So I like that pattern too. Then this morning I said, what's the thing that I've been looking for lately that I don't have many examples of to show myself? Because for some reason I've gotten into a lot of vertical patterns and straight lines. So I'm going to try this. I made another panel the same size as my sampler, but I ran my fabric strips up and down so that I can practice on there. And I'm going to number them across the top. And when I practice, I use an erase pen that I really like. And I've never had any trouble with it disappearing. I mean, it just goes away. Sometimes some of the fabric, it takes a little bit longer, but these are great. And then it'll go away and I'll have it. So I'm excited about using this once I find a vertical that I want to work on. And to me, a quilt, I was thinking about, it's like when you got ready to write an essay sometime, or even write a letter to a friend, and you're sitting there looking at a blank piece of paper. Well, the quilt's sort of like that, because it's blank without any stitching on it. And the last thing is one more way that I like to practice. And this is just using my imagination and things that I've seen. And I've always liked white cloth, where the whole thing is just white and it's just stitched all over it, and it's so pretty. And so this is one that I've started before, and it's not finished. It's just when I just want to do something crazy and I want to just make up something, or I just want to look at it and make up what I want to do. And there again, I'm building my muscle memory, and I'm getting some good practice, and it's just another way to have fun. So this is short and sweet. I hope that you will get something from it, and practice if you're not practicing, and come up with a way to do it, because there are a lot of things you can do. This is Stephanie at Hightower Stitching. Thank you for watching. Please, if you like this or gave you some ideas, please hit subscribe and hit like. Thank you.